Hi everyone. I just want to say thank you for coming out tonight. I greatly appreciate that and all your support. So I just want to start with a little personal story. So back when I was in 7th grade, all those years ago, I attended a summer camp called Camp Conor. And here, back then, I was a very nervous, weird, quiet kid. I didn't really feel like I had a whole lot of interaction or capabilities to interact with people on a more personal level. And over the time of this one summer camp, at the end of each of the 2 weeks, we have something called Candlelight, where one of the kids in each village gets recognized for their growth over those 2 weeks. And I was very lucky to be nominated as the kid who got to speak in front of everybody. And even though not too dissimilar from tonight, I was incredibly nervous. I wrote on a one-piece sheet of paper everything I wanted to do and talk about. And I will never forget standing up on that stage in front of everybody and just completely blanking in front of about 300 people. And just, even though all the little kids before me were talking about how they loved archery and colors and crafts and everything, I felt I had nothing to say whatsoever. And I'll never forget a little 7-year-old sitting in front of me just gave me a little thumbs up and said, "You're okay." And right then and there, everything just disappeared. And once again, not too dissimilar from tonight, I've received so many of those amazing texts, and I want to just talk about my own experience in feeling with confidence and imposter syndrome. So, proceeding from 7th grade up into my time at Penn State, where I really had no clue what I wanted to do here. I had really no understanding of what Penn State was, what my experience would be, what my extracurriculars would look like, and even my academics. And coming in first at Penn State Altoona, I felt this, over COVID, I felt this great sense of isolation. The last 6 months, I was only around my immediate family, and here I was entering a campus that I first had never toured and had no prior knowledge of. And feeling this deep isolation, lack of community, and then furthermore, just this lack of identity, I felt that I needed to do something different. I needed to expand upon that, and coming up to University Park, I felt that my best experience was through extracurriculars. So I got involved in everything under the sun, and to a debilitating degree of just pushing myself to different levels and finding my community and really feeling like I could find my place. But once I got into these spaces, it was a sense of, do I even belong here? And kind of touching more upon that idea of imposter syndrome, of do I deserve to belong in this space, of belonging at Penn State, of belonging in these classes, of belonging with these amazing people who have so much power and potential, and I look up to a lot of the people in this room who I met all those years ago. And really seeing what can I do to better improve that for myself. So, just give a quick definition of imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is the condition of feeling anxious and not experiencing success internally, despite being high-performing in external, objective ways. This condition often results in people feeling like a fraud or phony and doubting their abilities. And this is something that I felt just very personally, and I know that a lot of other students have felt over their time as student leaders. And I'm so thankful to have the opportunity to even call myself a student leader, and seeing that other people and looking up to them have felt like, why do I deserve to be here? Where is my voice? Where are my ideas? Am I even able to be listened to? And really just having this impending sense of doom of, I don't deserve to be here. And in whatever space that may be, even if they're my best friends, of kind of feeling this immense sense of despair. And going all the way back to my time just speaking in front of a crowd as a 7th grader, it was that exact same feeling, but it was this random little kid who told me how to get out of it. And it's something that I intended to embody so much, of just pushing the people around me, supporting them as they have supported me. Seeing that just giving a little bit of encouragement is so immensely important, and finding that own space. So through one of the many organizations I joined, I found Line Ambassadors, which once again, very similar to my time at Penn State. I had no clue what it was, I had no clue what I was getting myself into, but the amazing people part of it, even though it took me some time to get into it, because it was that similar sense of, why am I here? why am I around all these amazing people who can talk to anybody in an instant, connect with them, while here I could not find my own voice to feel confident? And going back to imposter syndrome and the definition of it, that can find itself in many different ways. For me, one of the biggest things that I felt that I struggled with was every single conversation I had to have with anybody was, need to be perfect. I need to think about what it meant to the individual. I thought about it 20 minutes beforehand, 20 minutes after, did I say the right thing, did I say the wrong thing? How can I make this perfect to get the best reaction? And just this constant pressure of perfectionism and touching into the different kinds of imposter syndrome and the two that I best feel affect me are perfectionism and being a superhuman. Of if other people can't do it, then I have to do it. If it's not everybody else, it has to be me. And going back to perfectionism, just the threat of failing the people around you, of failing yourself, and eventually that just all tumbles down into isolation. So, just a little activity, and can read the question. I'll read the questions, but can raise your hand. Do you secretly worry you're not as bright, capable, or qualified as everyone thinks you are? Every day for me. Do you chalk your accomplishments up to luck, timing, connections, or computer error? Do you believe if I can do it, anybody can? Do you agonize over the smallest flaws in your work? Are you crushed by constructive criticism seen as evidence of your ineptness? When you do succeed, do you secretly feel you fooled them again? And do you worry that it's just a matter of time before you're found out? As seeing everybody raise their hand for at least one question, I personally find the last one to be the most intimate to myself, of like, when will I get caught? When will I be found out that I am not as competent as other people put me on a pedestal to be? Just as the way I felt about the people around me my first year at Pennsylvania, first 2 years, of seeing all these amazing student leaders, of seeing all the amazing people in this very room, of like, I look up to so many other individuals. And at a point when just it becomes too much. And for me, that was really last year. Hitting upon, going all the way back, once again, it's what can other people teach me? How do I find myself and break out of this anxious cycle of just failure and struggle that I feel, as everybody else raised their hands, have all felt at some point or another. And to me, one of the biggest things was trusting other people. So seeing that, it was once again back in Line Ambassadors, an organization that I did not have a whole lot of faith in myself, and that I did not have a whole lot of faith that I could really fulfill myself. And then even finding that over the last year and so, that these are my closest friends, these are the people. And why is that? It's the everyday little connections and realizing that, wait, I am not in my own little bubble, I'm a part of a greater community. And in a cringy, cliche way, very much talking about the whole we are spirit, of that at the end of the day, we are all together. We are all Penn Staters, we're all in the same journey together. And really hitting upon that we just have to trust other people. That one of the few things I did was, I did not need to worry every single second of every single day about how to interact with other people. It was just putting myself, humbling myself and saying, I am not the main person in this room. I can trust what they're saying to me. And it was just over time, this little bit, and the main point of what I'm trying to emphasize is, you're feeling similar, as so many other people said that they felt at some point, it's trust yourself. Be friendly with yourself. You are amazing and a powerful leader, and you have so much to offer and to give. I believe in you, and just trust yourself. So, to wrap things up, just hitting upon this overall ideal of community. That community is what has bonded us together. It's what brought all of us here to Penn State. It's what brought all of us into this room together. And seeing that us as leaders, as students, we share so many commonalities and have faith with each other. So, thank you for listening. I greatly appreciate all your support.